An athlete in the true sense, who started her first track and field competition at a national level at the age of 12. A woman who is passionate about athletics. One among the first Bahraini women to compete a half Ironman. Co-owner of True Active Sportswear Company, Dana Zubari. The Bahraini entrepreneur who have participated and won awards for a wide range of sporting activities, including volleyball, running, and triathlons, initiated True Active Sportswear Company in 2015 alongside her sister Hala Zubari, a fashion designer. With a signature touch of Arabic calligraphy by her father Khalid Zubari, the brand weaves in designs that ties the Arab heritage to activewear. Dana is also the co-captain of Cycling BIZ, a group of enthusiastic moms into cycling, and Let Us Run, a women's running group specially for beginners. Yes, a beautiful blend of fitness and fashion, an entrepreneur, a mother, the spirited cycling bee of Bahrain, a true blue bundle of energy. Dana Zubari joining me this evening on BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live. Ramadan Kareem, a combination of physical fitness, fashion spree, innovation, a mother, an entrepreneur, an athlete. Bahrain's very own cycling bee, a true blue bundle of energy, the very active Dana Zubari, joining me this evening on BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live. Dana is a co-owner of True Active Sportswear Company and also among the first Bahraini women who have completed half Iron.
Yeah, half a 70.3 Ironman.
Ironman. Welcome, Dana, to the show, and thank you for taking a time out to join us on this show, which brings success stories of businesses.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Dana, let's get into the talk. So next 1 hour, those who are joining us, let's hear from Dana on her passion, that is sports, and her innovative styles, I think collaborating with her dear sister Hala Zubari,
yes,
and with an artistic touch of Arabic calligraphy from her father. Let's hear a lot about this and your vision and your goals in the next 1 hour.
Thank you.
Dana, tell me about your milestone achievement as an athlete. What is that moment which you capture from that?
I would say the milestone as an athlete is breaking some barriers in Bahrain, which is to complete a 70.3 as a female Bahraini, which hadn't been accomplished yet. So these are types of sports where people never envisioned a Bahraini woman to complete and compete and excel in.
Right.
So I would say that would be my biggest milestone. And the milestone that I accomplished ended up accomplishing so many other things in my life, which I never thought was going to be my milestone, but it was I thought that was what would finish, like that's I've achieved it, so I'm done. But actually that's what opened the door.
That's where it
for
all started.
so many of my,
okay,
my future achievements.
Right, brilliant. That's a great note to start on this holy month, and it's beautiful to have such a beautiful guest with me. Tell us about True Active, the sportswear company. We don't see many of this kind of a business out here, right? When we are talking of entrepreneurs, and that too women, I wouldn't say an odd, but then it's different from the rest, isn't it?
Definitely.
What drove you into this?
Definitely. This is something that my sister and I just saw a gap in the market. It was something that my sister and I used to compete on an international level. And I never had any sportswear that represented me as an Arab. I used to always buy my sportswear from Europe and I would bring it over. Nothing was really customized for me as an athlete. So my sister also studied sportswear design at London College of Fashion. So she started making me customized sportswear. And that with my dad's designs. So with my dad's calligraphy, with my name on it. And I was telling her, this is beautiful. Why don't we create something like this for everyone in Bahrain? Why should we wear other people's brands when we can create something for us? Arabs creating for Arabs. And that's why I would say True Active was a very innovative, it was innovative in its ideas, it was innovative in the vision that we had, and it was a very unique creation, and it just blossomed, it bloomed, which is absolutely amazing.
I think 2015, right?
Yes.
2015 down, it's like 6 years.
Yeah.
How do you rate the growth of True Active?
We've grown massively. We went from selling 2 different leggings and 2 sports bras to now having a full range between, we have socks, we have towels, we have menswear, which we never had before, we have swimwear, sportswear, t-shirts, everything. We even made yoga mats.
All right.
So we really, really did expand as a business.
You mean in the region?
In the region as well. As a business, as in our collection expanded, and we got global recognition. There are people that were working out in London, and they would spot our leggings, and they would say, oh my God, someone's wearing True Active in London.
Okay.
So it's crazy how it's gone.
Right. Just curious, was it tailored to the kind of, was it tailored to the region as such? I'm thinking in terms of the climate.
What we tailored was, other than the climate, we tailored quality with beautiful designs, as well as we tailored to women with our shape. So women in our region are not a size 0, they're not slender. So when we were designing things, my sister and I are both not size 0s. We are curvaceous, we work out, but we like to eat. I feel like we have a healthy body shape. So we catered to women that looked like us, and even women that didn't look like us. We wanted women of all sizes to feel comfortable and to look nice in their sportswear. And that's why the range of our sizes goes from XX small all the way to XX large, because we don't believe that we should exclude any woman from feeling good about herself.
That's such a beautiful statement, Dana. I'm sure that inspires many out there, because that's coming from a fitness freak. Thank you for reassuring all the women out there, including myself. Thank you, Dana.
I mean, look, size is just size. I know some women that are very fit. It's just metabolism. There is thyroid, there's metabolism, there's age. There's so many things. Not everyone can achieve the size 0 look that I feel social media has instilled on us, which is tiring. It's tiring to watch.
Right.
So why watch? Why not do something to change that mentality? So my sister and I always try to go against the grain.
Great, great. Wonderful. So that's Dana Zubari, the co-owner of True Active Sportwear Company in Bahrain, joining us on BIZ Talk this evening. Well, I was told that True Active has some of those must-have for a sports wardrobe for sure. And from all what you said now, the range, I'm sure you better take a look at True Active, the brand. Let's take a short break. Welcome back to BIZ Talk with Dana Zubari. Dana, let's get into some of your family details, personal space. Would you like to share with us, please?
I'm an open book. You should know that about me.
All right.
And my social media.
Yes, I can see you very active on your Instagram. Those lovely 15-second posts are really entertaining. All the way you cycle or run or do anything, we get to see you.
Yes.
That's very sweet. Tell us about your family.
My family consists of me and my husband, and we have a beautiful little girl called Layla. She's around 7 years old. She just turned 7 in April. And yeah, that's my family. In terms of my animals, I have several animals. My family consisted of a cat called Sabzi, which we rescued. Unfortunately, we lost recently. I think someone stole her. We have a dog called Kappa, also a rescue, Saluki. Very well behaved. I've had him before I even had Layla. And a new addition, Bella, a Frenchie, and she terrorizes us. She's fresh, she's new, and she loves chewing on everything in the house. Other than that, I just spend a lot of time with my daughter. My husband works a lot, so I'm very lucky and fortunate to be able to spend a lot of time with her. Because I own my own business, I have more flexible hours. Before I used to work at a bank, so I didn't get to spend as much time with her. And at some point I told my husband, I was like, I'm done with work. I kind of just want to spend as much time with my daughter as possible. So he just told me, it's fine, you know, you focus on True Active and take care of Layla. So it's nice to be a business owner. For me, I feel I'm able to juggle both being a mom that kind of gets to stay at home as well as work my hours and not corporate hours.
All right. So let me, on that note, ask you, like, have you come across anything that we very often discuss about the barriers that a woman has to face in achieving certain feats, like the way you are, like, you know, you were a banker before and you decided, you took a choice. Fortunate you have a husband who agreed to it. All those kinds and beyond, because you did many things which is not a normal thing for a woman. Like, was it easy?
I would say it is not easy. So for women, we always lose. If you work, you lose. If you work, you're labeled as a negligent mom because you're putting your career ahead of your child's needs. So you lose there. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you lose. You're not helping with the finances of the house. You're just lazy. All you do is just take care of your kid. Your kid goes to school all day. What do you do all day? Nothing. You lose. You're an entrepreneur. Regardless of what you choose, society makes you feel like you're losing. So for me, my advice to any woman is you pursue what your heart desires. I was in a banking job. The reason why I resigned is because banking didn't fulfill me. I was really into sports. I was into being outdoors. I was into seeing people, interacting with people. And I was in a spot where I'm in treasury, I was trading, or I was in asset management before at my other job. So I was really knee-deep with investments and the stress of the market going up, the market going down, you know, management getting mad at us for investing in this or that, or we didn't enter at the right time. And it just didn't fulfill me. You know, I just thought to myself, I go to work and it's crushing my soul, and then I leave work and I'm exhausted, and then I'm rushing. So even with my daughter, I used to take her to school. I'm like, take her to school, rush to work, let's go, grab a coffee, work. Oh, what is she gonna eat for lunch? And you know, I was fortunate enough that my mom helped me out. My mom stepped in. But some people don't have a mom living in the same country, or doesn't have a mom that is willing to take care of a child 2 years old. My mom is 60. It's too much. You know, at some point, I just got to a point where I felt I was playing catch up with anything. I didn't feel I was doing well at school, like at work, because I was worried about my daughter the whole time. I wasn't really being a good mom because I was so exhausted from being at work. And at the same time, I had cycling bees, lettuce run, and most of the time when I was working, I was training for Ironman. So I would work out before Layla was awake at 5 a.m. to 7 to 6. And then I'd train at night. I'd put her to sleep and I'd go to the gym at 8:30 at night and I'd train till 10. At some point, my husband's like, I think you're getting exhausted. And that's the problem with us as women. We have to be superhero. Superhero. No. You can't just be a mom. No. You have to look good. Your hair has to look perfect. You need to look the part.
Fit.
You need to look fit. If you're not fit and your hair looks done and you look like you have makeup on and you look well rested, and on top of that, you have to cook. Because God forbid you don't cook for your family, you're such a negligent wife. And on top of that, you have to have a social life. You have to have activities for your kids. You have to also cater to your husband, which sometimes you forget. Like, I'm like, oh, I have a husband. I have to take care of him too. Not just the child and my socials and at some point, something's got to give. So for me, my work,
I can feel the tiredness the way you explain it.
I was exhausted. I remember some people used to watch my social media and they'd be like, do you sleep? Because we'd see you posting from 5 a.m. and you don't go to sleep till maybe 12. And then you wake up again and again. So for me, I had to give up something, which was a 9-to-5 job. I have a job now, but it's not a 9-to-5 work environment. And for me, my advice to women in general is do what works for you and don't be apologetic about it. I've been with women who are housewives who are like, yeah, and they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed to say that they're housewives because they're like, I should find a job because I don't feel fulfilled. Why do you not feel fulfilled? Why? Just because you don't go to a job? By the way, taking care of your child is so fulfilling. Being able to be there for an activity is fulfilling. So for me, I definitely feel more fulfilled. I remember I was driving once after I had resigned, and I just looked at my husband and I was like, I am just so happy because I am living in the moment and not playing catch up to anyone and to anything. And I have time to pursue things that I really do enjoy. Yes, I am blessed that I was able to have that.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Some people don't have that opportunity, unfortunately. That's what to do.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, you're really blessed to have that choice. You could afford that choice.
Yes.
But then a good note that I would take from your comments is about how it can all be fulfilling. Like, it depends on how you look at it.
Exactly.
And perhaps like giving that bit out there or trying to make balance. But yeah, unfortunately, there are quite a few out there who might disagree with you because your situations are different. But I'm so happy that you are happy with Layla and that little family. Who is your role model in life?
Oh.
Do you have one?
So for me, I don't have a role model.
Okay.
The reason why is I actually don't look at people so I don't know how to, I need to phrase this in a proper way. Mm-hmm. I see women around me, not big people, just women. And each person inspires me in a different way.
All right, yeah.
I meet entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs that I meet, and I'm like, wow, that from an entrepreneur perspective, I want to take. Mm-hmm. I see moms that just do a certain thing with their kids, the way they teach their kids, the way they interact with their children. I see that and I'm like, wow, that's inspirational. I'll take from that. So I don't have like, lots of people are like, oh, Oprah or Princess Di or whatever. But for me, I don't have that. I have actual people that I interact with that I find, wow, I like the way you're organized in life. I'm going to take that from you. And I always tell them, sometimes I see them, I'm like, you inspired me. You got me to, do this or do that. And I'm not embarrassed to say that because I feel it's fantastic to, what is it called? Kind of bounce off of one another.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like to watch what other people do.
And imitate, perhaps?
If people that I don't know, for example, just because then it's not natural, then it's like I'm just copying.
Yeah.
And I don't like to copy. My sister and I are very innovative, even in our business, as well as my personality. I don't, even with my social media, because my social media has taken a following. I don't actually watch other influencers and I'm like, I'm gonna try that out, or I'm gonna copy exactly what they do. I actually don't follow any influencers. Sometimes people come to me and they're like, yeah, but why don't you get this influencer on board? And I'm like, who is this person? And it's because I only follow people that I actually know, people that I love to see and know about their news. And memes. I'm addicted to memes.
Okay.
Meme pages.
Meme pages, right.
I can watch memes all day.
Really. And we must include Hala Zubari in this segment because we often hear of you two together, Dana and Hala, the sisters.
She inspires me, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I brought her in. Would you like to speak a little about her?
So my sister is someone who is 8 years younger than me.
I was about to ask you whether she was
young. She is 8 years younger than me. And yes, everybody asks who is younger. Yes, Halulu, if you're hearing this, it's happened. I've dropped it into the universe. But Hela was a kid my mom had when she was 37 years old. And then I remember they would tell her, my mom was like, oh, you want to go to that party? I was like a 16-year-old. She's like, you take Halulu with you. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I used to take her everywhere. And I didn't mind. I loved Halulu. And I still, till today, love her. I always treat her like she's my first child. I always feel like she's my first daughter because I took care of her. I took her to college. I watched her when she was revising for exams. This business was seeded. I funded it. But Halulu is the brains, the design, the inspiration, the marketing. She is true active, by the way. I just wear the stuff and market it, but she is the brains behind the whole thing. I'm just the financier. So I would say in life, she is someone that inspires me, and she is someone that made me who I am. Like what you see now, this polished Dana, is Halulu. Halulu, oh sorry, her name is Hala Zubari, not Halulu. Halulu is her kid name. Okay. It's her nickname. But she is the one that, she's made me who I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you met me 20 years ago, when in my 20s, it's not the same as what I am now. And it's because of her, like it's her influence, it's her everything that makes me better as a person.
Hala, if you're watching us, I'm sure you're watching us, you would be one proud sister because very rare, such emotional, and I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
It's so true.
It's true.
Dana,
I
so
can't live without
expressed.
her. I can't live without her.
That's
Really,
so sweet.
I always tell people if there is anyone I can't give up, it's Halulu.
Oh my God, I can see Dana getting emotional. And on that note, let's take a short break.
വിഷമിക്കണ്ട എല്ലാം ശരിയാവും ലുലു മണി സ്നേഹപൂർവ്വം
Welcome back to BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live with co-owner of True Active Sportwear company, Dana Zubari. Dana, that was a very emotional segment on Hala, and Hala, as I said, is really a blessed one to have a sister like you. May God bless the family. Let me take you to another episode. I've been very often reading, whenever we read you anywhere, we hear about this incident with, not the incident, a reference to Sheikh Nasser and your half Ironman of Mallorca of 2013. What is this? Can you explain that to us, please?
So basically, I remember when we decided to sign up for the Mallorca 70.3, I sent a request for Sheikh Nasser's fund, the Nasser bin Hamad Fund, to sponsor this trip just because it was such a big trip. It was such a big deal for Bahrain in general, as women for the first time representing Bahrain in a 70.3. So I remember he saw the application, and I remember seeing him at one of the races before Naid 2013 in 2012, and it was in Sofitel, and he was like, by the way, I know you, I saw your application for the 70.3 and it's inspired me. I signed up for the Germany 70.3 and I'm going to do it in a couple of months. And I was like,
interesting.
You beat me to it. And he said, yeah, I did. So it was really cool. But he always is so supportive. The fact he called us once we finished our race. So I remember he called and he said, you said you were going to finish the race in 8 hours. You finished it an hour early. And I told him, well, I didn't think I was going to be that fast, but I guess I was, because I was really excited. There was adrenaline, and there's so many people cheering you on. So in general, Sheikh Nasser brought the sport to Bahrain because of his love for Ironman, for triathlons. He ended up bringing challenge initially and then switching to Ironman.
Ironman, yeah.
Which now, if you see the Bahraini population, it's full of triathletes, which is amazing. It's just, I don't know how to say it, but it's so nice to have that, because I remember before, people would be like, oh, you're going running, you're going cycling, that's so stupid. But he made it cool, because he did it. And everybody started doing it, and everybody thought, okay, we need to respect cyclists on the road. You know, it's just the mentality's changed.
Right.
Since 2013, which is a really long time.
I know. Well, touching upon the royal family, I don't think they cannot be but mentioned in any field in Bahrain, isn't it? The way they have brought Bahrain forward, and Sheikh Nasser is one person who's highly responsible for the growth of sports in the country, isn't it? And
yes, he has.
Yeah, I'm sure it must have been a moment in your life, right, to hear that from him.
Honestly, he's and I know him on a personal level, and he is a kind, very supportive person. And I'm not just saying this because he's Sheikh Nasser, but he really is a very, very nice person, and he's always very supportive, and he's always supportive to women in sports. I remember he even had a 5-kilometer run in 2013 in Rafah Views, purely for women.
Okay.
And it was just nice. Like, he was cycling around, he was supporting us, he was saying, you know, go. But he made like an all-women run, which was unheard of before. You know? So it's just really nice to have that.
Dana, tell me, like, what is your vision for Bahrain in terms of cyclists or athletics, in the field of athletics, or athletes in general? What's your vision for Bahrain?
My vision for Bahrain is to hopefully one day have cycling lanes dedicated just to cyclists, just to minimize any form of accidents. Unfortunately, we've had a few accidents in the past. It's scary. Especially me as a mom. I don't want to go out one day and not come back home. It is a thought that does cross my mind every now and then when I have close calls with cars. I'm not going to lie. And I do cycle quite often. So the close calls becomes more of a higher probability than a low statistic. In general, I want to normalize exercise. It's something that I want normalized in Bahrain. I want women to think of exercise as a way to maintain a healthy mental and physical state. What people don't understand is being thin and being healthy are the same, which is not the same. I want to normalize women getting out there, being active with their children, and making it a habit. I want our society to start moving, taking walks, going on bicycles with the family. That is something I want. I want to normalize that. I don't want that to be once in a while, you know. I want that to be a weekly routine for an average Bahraini family.
Yeah, I would agree with you, especially in terms of cycling. But then we must acknowledge that over the past 5 to 10 years, we've had many projects with walkways coming up in Bahrain, isn't it?
Yes, we have. We have Bahrain Bay, for example, Medina Salman, for example, all new facilities that have popped up with beautiful cycling paths, beautiful walk paths. It's been fantastic, and that's basically where I train the most.
Right. And recently the minister, Mr. Isam Khalaf, had stated that Bahrain's road design manual has been updated so that all future roads would have a cycling lane. Yes, we must remember those precious lives that lost, including Alan Sword, a great person. Very sad, isn't it? So
very sad.
Let's hope, as you said, and with all these blessings from the leaders and the royal leadership, let's hope that we have more cycling lanes to keep people like you happy and smiling. And after a short break, let's come back to more of your passion for sports, the cycling bees and lettuce runs, and Sarah as well.
Yes, for sure.
Let's take a break.
The exclusive franchisee of Cochin Kala Bhavan in Bahrain, with over a decade of existence in Bahrain. Exclusive online regular classes have started for classical dances, music vocal, instrumental music, cinematic dance, Kathak, Zumba body fitness, karate and yoga, drawing, arts and craft, children's theatre. For more information, please call 3909 6845 3909 4806 3885 2397 or visit www.bahrainmediacity.com. IMAC, Cochin Kala Bhavan.
Welcome back to BIZ Talk with Dana Zubari. Dana, let's take your sports and passion a little more forward. I'm sure you'll have a lot to speak about. Cycling bees.
Do you have 1 hour?
Is that enough?
I don't think so.
Because I know you are known as the bee of Bahrain, the cycling bee, and the lettuce runs. Tell us more about it.
All right. So how Cycling Bees started was Sarah and I.
Yeah, Sarah.
Both had children.
Anyone following or is on with Dana on her Insta will know Sarah.
Yes, Sarah as Samak. Yes, and I absolutely love her. She is someone that I cycled with when I was training for Mallorca before we had children.
Okay.
And after we had children, we took a break. I took a break for almost 2 years. I exercised, but I did not sign up for any races because I was breastfeeding. I was working and I was purely sleep deprived. I'm not going to exaggerate. If you saw what I looked like a zombie because I was tired. And my daughter was very demanding. She wanted to be with me all the time. So even when I'd go to work, my mom would call me. She's like, come. She's not even taking the milk. You need to come, breastfeed, and then go back to work. So I used to do that. Around 2016, I told my husband, I was like, I need to get back in the game. I need to go back into training for Ironman. It's my passion. I started cycling with a group of women, and we'd start, and I was slow because I hadn't trained in 2 years, and they'd leave me. I still remember, and I was scared because I'm in Zallag, I'm by myself. What if something happens to me? I have no one. I'm by myself, just in the road. And they'd leave me. They would cycle because they were much faster. They'd cycle. And they weren't very understanding of my situation. I was sleep deprived. Sometimes my daughter would wake up. I can't leave her. I had to soothe her, make sure she's okay, change everything, change the diaper, everything. So I saw Sarah. Sarah saw me. She said, you know what? I've hurt my back. I need to ease into cycling again. I've signed up for the Spinnies 90K in Dubai. It's a week apart. So Ironman was December something. The next week was her Spinnies 90-kilometer thing in Dubai competition. She said, why don't we cycle together? You're going to go take your bike all the way to Zallag. That wastes like 30 minutes of our life. And then cycle and then drive back. She said, we start from our houses. We lived right next to each other in Sar. And I thought, I was scared. She's like, don't be scared. She's like, I'm the queen of cycling. I was like, okay. So she'd pick me up. She'd pick me up from my house on a bike, and we'd cycle from Sar all the way to Zallag and back. And we'd cycle everywhere. We would go to like different beaches. We'd find different broken houses to take photos next to. We'd find like, now on Instagram, I see all these people taking beautiful places in Dumanistan, in Kazakhstan, in Malchia. Sarah and I did this like 5 years before them. We were doing this before it became a thing all over Instagram. Like, we used to just go to different places, take beautiful photos, but at the same time, I was training. I was having a good time with a friend, and we were flexible. We were both moms. We had to be at home at a certain time. We understood that sometimes we didn't sleep well. We can delay it by 15 minutes. No one's going to yell at us. No one's going to leave us behind. I absolutely loved it. We started taking photos. We started posting. People started commenting. They said, where are you guys going? We want to join you. So Sarah said after the races, both our races, she said, what do you think about starting an all cycling team just for us, for women, moms, just like us? And I said, yes, let's. Why are these people better than us? Of course, we can do it. And I remember people used to look at us. They were like, no one's going to join your group. No one. No one's going to join. Everybody's so busy training. No one's going to join. Bahrainis, not going to join you. Maybe you might get a few foreigners, but it's not going to happen. And I was like, whatever. We're doing it for ourselves, and we're helping, right? We get 1 or 2 girls, helping them out. We're not making any money out of it. We're cycling regardless. We're getting more girls encouraged and involved. We started with like 5 or 10 girls. Then we went from 10 to 50 girls. It just exponentially grew. It was absolutely beautiful. And it was just the support and everything.
What's behind the name, Cycling BIZ?
Sarah, the name is from Sarah. Why? Her bike that is sponsored by Skate Shack is a yellow and black bike. So she used to call her bike a bee.
Okay.
So that's why she used to call it the Cycling Bee.
Right. That's a beautiful name.
It's a nice name.
Yeah.
So that was how we started, and honestly, I'm so happy with the outcome of Cycling Bees. We recently had a Women's Power Summit cycle. Okay, not that recent. I'm trying to block out Corona as much as possible. Corona 2020 just didn't happen. So in 2019, they had an all-women's cycle. There were around 100 to 90 attendees. I would say 80 of those attendees, all women cyclists, started with us.
Great.
So it's fantastic. Now a lot of people progressed, they got faster, they moved on to different groups, but they started with us. We were the backbone, we were the base of everyone's cycling journey, basically. And a lot of women graduated. Other than cycling, they started participating in a 70.3 Ironman in Bahrain, which is something to really be proud of.
Exactly.
And these are all things that Sarah and I aided.
Great.
And
So Let Us Run was after this?
So then, 3 years after Cycling Bees, I was chilling with my friend Maryam Turki, who is also a co-founder of Let Us Run. And we had finished our cycle. It was in Ramadan. So I was telling her, she was telling me, she was like, a lot of girls want to run, but they can't run like 5-10 kilometers. It's a lot. I was thinking about doing like maybe a 3-kilometer run. I told her that's great because I was thinking about doing something similar when I was organizing for the Bahrain Marathon Relay. Girls, I forgot because I run with people that run 10 kilometers on a daily basis. People like me run every other day 10 kilometers, 15, 20. It's normal. So for me, I just think it's normal. We belittle a 3-kilometer run. And then I organized the Bahrain Marathon Relay. The year, it was a day before Ironman 70.3. So all the people for Bahrain road runners that would have ran for us didn't run that year because they were doing the 70.3. They're not going to go on their feet all day when they have a 6-hour race the next day. So I had to recruit people from scratch. I had to train people from scratch. It was difficult, but you should have seen their faces. The women were so excited. They were so happy. They were cheering each other on. And after they were done with their 3-kilometer race, they felt a sense of accomplishment, which is something I missed. It's something that really made me happy. And then I realized, you know what, I'm going to start this. But right now I'm training for a marathon. I can't dedicate the time. I will start this. So it was in the back of my mind. So when Maryam suggested it, I said, great. With groups like Cycling Bees, like Let Us Run, you need to be a person that starts with another partner. Because just in case you can't make it, someone can't make it, there's someone to bounce off ideas, to bounce off locations. And also, it's a big commitment. We've committed to this now. Let Us Run's been running for 3 years.
Okay.
So it's been a long time. 3 years this June. So it's only in 2 months. So Let Us Run, what inspired Let Us Run is to encourage women to go from zero to 3K with a continuous run. So I always told women, if you can't run 3 kilometers, that's okay. Because I will give you tools and interval training to where if you stick to us, you'll be able to accomplish these distances later. Okay. And the girls that started out with us and stayed with us now run 5 kilometers, which is fantastic, nonstop. So for us, it's just to get women to meet other women who like to do sports. And I think it's fantastic because sometimes I see like the Let Us Runners meeting up outside of Let Us Run to run. And it makes me happy because I'm thinking to myself, oh, I made them they met through Let Us Run. So they've become friends. And now they're doing things together to stay active and to stay fit. So that is Let Us Run. And how I came up with the name, I know you were going to ask, is because I always tell people, because people don't want to believe, that I exercise and I eat healthy, because people are like, you're so thin, how do you do it? And I always tell them, it's diet and exercise. And they're like, no, Tell us the truth. So I started doing this joke on Instagram where I'd put a plate with a tiny slice of lettuce and I'd say, I'm so skinny, I only eat lettuce. And I'd eat one slice of lettuce and say, I'm full, I can't have any more. So it's sarcasm. So when we were thinking of the name, I was gonna call it the 3K Club. And my sister was like, Hella Zubari. Again, my inspiration, my everything. She's like, why would you call it 3K Club? It's horrible. It's a horrible name. Call it Let Us Run. And I was like, what? She's like, you're the lettuce queen. Call it Let Us Run. Let us
that's a pun
run.
in the...
It's a pun in the words.
Okay, all right.
And then she was like, it's great for branding. I put a little lettuce on run. I was like, fantastic, you're a genius.
Yeah.
And that's how Let Us Run came about.
Great. That was a very interesting chat, Dana. It was very nice to have you on the show. And as we come to the close, can I have your closing comments, please?
I just wanted to say thank you to Bahrain Media Company. What you guys are doing is very innovative. It's very unique, and I absolutely love it. I'm really excited to see what you guys have in store for the future.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you so much. And no exaggeration, it was a wonderful chat.
Oh, thank you.
All your episodes and narrations and digressions were really beautiful. And I'm sure at least a handful of women out there are very happy to hear your remarks on the fitness definitions, the societal attitude towards women.
Yes.
I'm sure there are many out there who would have really applauded that. At least I did.
Thank
you so much for bringing up those lovely points.
Thank you.
Well, that was, as I told in my introduction, the True Blue Active co-owner of True Active, Dana Zubari, with us this evening on BIZ Talk from BMC Global Live. Until we meet next week with yet another guest, this is Raji Unikrishnan signing off. Good night.